On Monday the 12th of January 1970, tragedy struck at Fairy Meadow Beach near Wollongong, a location about an hour's drive south of Sydney, when 3-year-old Cheryl Grimmer vanished under circumstances that continue to haunt the community. Her family, recent migrants from Bristol, had spent the day enjoying the coastal setting, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. Cheryl was at the beach with her mother and 3 brothers. In the moments before her disappearance, a rare southerly buster had swept through Fairy Meadow, a sudden, powerful burst of wind that some believe foreshadowed the impending horror. According to witness accounts, Cheryl and her older brother Ricki were in the change rooms when he briefly moved away to look for his mother. It was during that fleeting moment that an unknown male was seen carrying the toddler towards the car park, a scene that would spark a desperate search and profound public outcry. Despite an extensive search and overwhelming display of community support, no trace of Cheryl was ever found. A coronial inquest held in 2011 concluded that Cheryl had died, though the cause and manner of her death remained undetermined. Her body was never located, leaving a permanent void in the hearts of her family. Reflecting on that day, her brother Ricki Nash later confessed, "I made a terrible decision, leaving her in the toilets. I should have sent one of my brothers to get mother that day. I've struggled with that decision all my life." In 2016, a dramatic twist in the case emerged when a man in his 60s was charged with Cheryl's murder. This charge stemmed from a confession that the man had made approximately 1 year after Cheryl's disappearance when he was a 17-year-old runaway. His confession stated, "I come around the front of the pavilion behind her and grabbed her. There was some bloke sitting on the wall in front of the pavilion, so I had to put my hand over her mouth to stop her screaming, because if she had have screamed, he would have heard it. I went over to the big drain and stayed in the scrub area and got near a creek near the main road. I tied a handkerchief and a shoelace around her mouth to stop her screaming, and with the other shoelace I tied up her hands. I was going to assault her. She started to scream as soon as I took the gag off. I put my hands around her throat and told her to shut up. I guess I must have strangled her. She stopped breathing and stopped crying, and I thought she was dead, so I panicked and covered her up with bushes and run for it." The case went to trial in 2019, but the crucial evidence, the confession given by a minor without a parent or guardian present, was ruled inadmissible. The retrospective application of legal safeguards resulted in all charges being dropped, and the defendant, who now denies the allegations, was freed. Decades later, fresh testimony has revived hopes of finally bringing justice for Cheryl. A new witness, recalling events from when he was just 7 years old, described a vivid scene outside the female change rooms. He recalled hearing a child's screams and witnessing a teenage boy, described as having medium dark hair with a short back and sides, and of an average build, carrying a small child away. "I heard this screaming of the kid. That's what caught my ear," he recounted. "When I glanced back at the toilet block, I saw a guy, sort of 15 or 16, in full stride with a baby in his arm." At the time, the witness and his family, recent arrivals from Eastern Europe with limited English, did not fully grasp the gravity of what they had seen and therefore did not report it to the authorities. Now, retired detectives who worked on the case at the time have urged that this new account be thoroughly investigated, emphasising its credibility and potential significance in finally resolving the case. As the case remains unsolved, Cheryl's family continues to search for answers. A reward of $1 million has been offered for any information leading to the resolution of her abduction and suspected murder. Her brother, Ricki Nash, expressed the family's ongoing pain and hope, stating, "There are no words to describe the pain of losing a sister and the impact Cheryl's disappearance has had on our entire family. Every day we are reminded of the tragic way she was taken from us, and we hope this reward is what is needed to bring justice for Cheryl. The disappearance of Cheryl Grimmer stands as one of Australia's most heartbreaking cold cases, a stark reminder of how one moment can shatter lives and leave questions that time has yet to answer. As investigators continue to re-examine old leads and new evidence comes to light, the hope remains that someday the truth will finally emerge, offering closure to a family that has suffered unimaginable loss for over 5 decades.